Hello YouTube friends, welcome to The Last Homely House. I'm Kate and today I want to show you the video that Anna and I have been making for months and months. Anna's my daughter-in-law and she helps me here at The Last Homely House, and together we've been dyeing some fabric with indigo, making some quilts and all sorts of other projects, and I want to show you one of them. Now, downstairs next to my sewing machine I have a panel, a fabric panel that looks a bit like fabric stained glass, and I really like how that looks there, and a lot of you do too, because I see comments saying tell us more about how you made that and what that is. And so I'm going to explain how I made that, but we're going to make a kit available for you in my little online shop. And watch this video and you'll see all the people that were involved in making that happen. Oh, get a bit closer in because this one looks amazing. Look, you keep pulling. Hang on. There we go. And look how it gets lighter the further into the middle it gets. Oh, look at that one. Oh, that's my favourite. We're filming this really towards the end of February now, and putting all the indigo blocks up there like we have.
Looks so cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, so as I said in the introduction there, I washed them and ironed them all, and there they all are.
Oh, so dreamy.
So you think Chris's looks okay with that then?
Yeah, I like it very much.
I think it works.
Yep. Yeah, I think it'll be really striking.
I do. Especially if I made that little, cut them into little pieces and made squares and squares and squares. I might have a go.
Yeah, you should.
I might try that. Yeah, I like the fish scales. That's what I think of them as up there. Fish
we
scale.
should do more of that for sure.
We should definitely do some more fish scales.
And absolutely tons of that.
Of the scrumpled up.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yes, me too. Now, there's many ways that we could lay this out. Many ways. And I definitely haven't come up with the definitive way yet. Not at all. So I've made a lot more of these chunks and put them up on the board here. I thought that was probably going to be the best way forward, was to keep making chunks rather than try to fit them together from the outset, because then I can make little slips of things when I've got much more of the thing done. Anna's here now.
Hey.
And I've got all that fabric that I was dyeing.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah? Are you pleased with it?
Yeah, I really like it.
So how did you get on?
Yeah, pretty good. What do you think?
I think those red middles look fantastic, don't they? It's going to
really
really
like them.
pop with those.
Yeah.
Stay away from people, Red Fox warned the cub. And then Rose saw a railway track, so the foxes decided to follow that. You see the snake? It's an angry snake. Get away from my eggs, it said. Uh-oh. The foxes ran deeper into the woods. Look, said Rose, there's the perfect home, just like our old one. There's an owl though, isn't there? Dusk fell and the cold, tired cubs started to whine. Are there any fox homes left? Wondered Red Fox desperately. And then he spied a river barge and he had an idea. Follow me, said Red Fox. Nobody was about. So they all jumped.
Okay. Clifford was the happiest sheep in the world. He delivered newspapers, and his job was to deliver the Oak Leaf Times each morning. All the wild animals who lived, and out popped Clifford.
What are we doing
like
today?
a cork. But by then it was well past everyone's bedtime and far too late to be delivering newspapers.
We're working really hard. We're scanning indigo fabric.
The next morning, Clifford was woken
Martha's
up by an
ironing
angry
it.
knock on the door.
Adam's reading stories to Agnes.
It was
But in
Mr.
between
Gray
times,
had enough of
we've got
reading
this
today's
cool
news.
scanner
Tomorrow or in
and we're
seconds,
scanning
no news at all.
indigo fabric
I'm sorry to
for a
have to put you
very
in a
cool
job to
project
somebody
that we're
else.
going to do with you.
You not only talk too much, but you are clearly too
So-
fat and slow to pick up the newspapers.
So firm, Grandma, so firm. Have I got to sit and read you a book, Emil? Yeah, I'm going to do that now. Okay, let's see that one. Oh, that's very watery. Gorgeous. Very good. You see cat? Let's do some drawing on this one. Slightly chaotic afternoon. So we're a lot further on with this process now. You saw Adam scanning all the beautiful indigo fabric, and now I've had it printed onto fabric by a company in the UK. This is organic calico that this is printed on, and I particularly wanted this. I got a load of samples from the company, and I wanted this fabric to be just a little bit heavier weight than quilting weight cotton, because it just felt like the hanging would be a bit more robust if we use this cotton, and I'm really pleased with it. And so the designs are here on this fabric, and I'm cutting them, I've cut loads of them, into the strips that you need to make this kit. And we're also cutting the Indian block printed fabric, which is right here. I'm going to be cutting some of that in a minute. And Anna's over there folding them into the packs that you need. So each pack will contain... Anna, can you throw me one of those empty blue bags down there? Here.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. So the packs will come in these little blue bags here. These are the bags that I use for all my kits, and I just get a different colour for each one. And I like them very much. And this is another UK-based company. And what Anna's doing, and we'll show you closer, is that she's rolling up the blue fabric, the base fabric, with some of the Indian block printed fabric and popping them into one of these. So you're also tying them up. We'll show you in a minute. It's lovely. And then we've got another few things that are going in your kit. We'll show you those as well. And so what we're doing up here in the production line here is cutting fabric. Now, there's 12 fabrics in your kit of the Indian block printed fabric, 4-inch squares. That's exactly what you need to make the largest size of this this window hanging that I'll show you in a minute. Now, it's hard work cutting with a rotary cutter through 12 layers of fabric. So I've invested in a very fancy and noisy fabric cutter. It's quite scary, but it's fine.
I'm very scared of it.
Anna won't use it, and I don't blame her. I've got a bit more of a tolerance to it now because I've used it a fair few times. But what I'm doing then is I'm cutting these 12 fabrics that are all piled up on the table here on 2 cutting mats into 4-inch squares. Now, to start with, I was marking them all out with a ruler and a chalk marker. But then I think it was Rita who said, "Why don't you get a laser?" So I bought this now. It's a building supplies tool, but this is a laser light. Hang on a minute. What am I doing? There we go. So can you help me swap that over, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So sadly, it'll have to be that one.
Oh, I love this one.
I know, but I can't see the laser because it's red.
That's all right.
So
I'll show the guys. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful?
actually, this one works pretty well.
Oof. Every one I've been like, oh, I want to make curtains,
a cushion. We'll have this one on top.
Yes,
so that one works really well. I can see the laser really well.
Okay.
So we'll just line these back up again. Now let me tell you a bit about this fabric, which Anna is going to show you in great detail, because every time we do anything with this fabric, she says, oh, I really like that one. Oh, I really like that one. I said, do you, Anna? Are you sure you really like that
Revelation.
one? Can you?
Yes, so.
I'm laying these out really carefully, lining up the selvage edges and the top edge. That's perfect. So, I'll just turn that off to one side so that, and then we need that pale one on top because I can't see the laser line on this one. I know it's very pretty. All this, well, we particularly chose very pretty fabric for this this project.
Might be my most favourite fabric you've ever used.
So, because we do get through quite a lot of fabric here, but you've liked this project best of all, haven't you?
Yes, I love it.
Anna's liked this project best of all. Well, I quite agree. I love it too. I really do. Yeah. And we got the fabric from a company called Cloth Atelier,
who we saw and briefly featured in the Festival of Quilts video
a couple of years ago. Yeah, we met them and that was nice.
And we were filming with Chris. Can you remember?
Yes,
but
I
me
do.
and you were like, but I want to buy that, and we had to come running back to buy fabric.
We did indeed. So that's perfect now. I can see that laser light on there now. So I'll just mess about here then, and then I'm going to put the very loud cutter on.
Okie doke.
Which Anna's going to edit this video and she'll make sure that you don't get deafened.
Yes.
And usually when I'm doing this, we're not filming, I've got headphones on, noise cancelling headphones. So that's good. It's been a game changer, this laser though.
Good, it's such a good idea.
It is. Well done, Rita. Mm.
Okay, so these are all of the beautiful Indian block printed fabrics. Oh, look at that. I think this one would be a good tablecloth for a table in the garden. What do you think? Can you imagine that?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh.
I guess so.
And that one too, that would be...
So can you see that we've got a kind of pink and green theme going on when I was choosing these?
Tealy blue
and
as
this
well.
lovely teal here.
Which is my favourite colour of all time.
It is.
Oh, our 3 favourite colours.
Our 3 favourite colours.
That's
there.
nice.
Yeah, it was not accidental.
That's a good combo. Yeah. I didn't think about it like that though, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did.
That's nice. It was just like, oh, I like that one, and I like that one. We had a lot of fun choosing them, didn't we, as Rita?
We did indeed.
And then when we... this one's so beautiful. When we ordered them, they were like, yeah, no problem, we're going to India next week, so we'll just pick up some more.
So have we said that these are from Cloth Atelier? We said that in the main channel video. Yeah. But have we said that today?
I don't know.
No, and so they're from Cloth Atelier. It's a lovely company we met when we were at the festival.
Yes. So sweet.
40, 40, 30. I'm just counting, guys. Over
and
here.
this one's my favourite one of all time.
That's the one we just run out of.
Oh no.
Yeah, sadly we have.
I have to buy myself a big old bolt of it, I think. I think this would be a beautiful armchair. I can imagine that in my kitchen. No one would be able to sit on it though because it would be too beautiful. I'd be like, don't sit on the chair.
And it also very
this
thin,
nice
it wouldn't
well.
wear.
No, I have to buy it in upholstery weight. This one's lovely.
40,
I think we're back at the beginning.
40, 40.
Oh no, we're not.
80,
Oh, there's so many.
80,
This one's lovely.
90, 110. I'm just counting, guys. So that we don't cut too many, because that would be a disaster, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And that's all of them.
So all your bags are packed now, and I want to show you in real close-up detail how I'm putting this together. Now, you've got enough fabric, the base fabric of the Indigo and the Indian block printed fabric, to make a piece that is 5 along and 9 down if you cut them 3.5 inches. And you can make one that's like my one on the door here. But of course you can make whatever size you like. You can cut these 5 inches square if you wanted to, and make a bigger square in the same way. You could make a long, if you've got a long thin window, you could make it 3 across and 7 down or whatever. You could make 2 of different sizes, one for you and one for a friend. Or you could make matching 2 either side of a door if you have the windows. They look best against windows, they really do, not against a wall. So I'm going to show you how I'm making this one at the moment, which is 3.5 inch squares. I've cut these 2, and it's going to be 5 along and 5 down. It's a nice size, fits in quite a lot of different windows. So there's my 3.5 inch square that I've cut from my indigo fabric. What I like about this, I think I might have already said this, it's nice and thick. It's a bit heavier weight than quilting weight cotton, which gives it a lovely finished feel. It's organic calico that I got printed here in the UK, wonderful company. Okay then, and then you have your pack of 12 of these squares, all these beautiful Indian block printed squares. Now, in the instruction booklet, it'll tell you to cut these into 2-inch squares if you're making this size. But I'd say approximately 2 inches. Have a look. I like the kind of homemade randomness of this. The last thing I would want you to do is place them exactly centrally, have them exactly 2 inches, sew them really carefully. I think a little tiny bit of leeway here and there is going to look brilliant on this project. So if I look at that, it's probably about right to cut this into quarters. So I'm not even going to measure it. I'm just going to cut this piece of fabric into 4 and use one of those pieces for this block here. Now, when I make these, I make all the pieces first and then arrange them how I like them and then stitch them together. But I'll just have a look at these now. Let's choose that one. Yeah, that's nice. In fact, that's even a little tiny bit too big. So I'm just going to trim that down a bit. And this is what I'd like to encourage you to do, is just to wing it a little bit so that you end up with something that you absolutely love. Okay. So what we want to do then is create like a stained glass effect by taking the fabric behind this out. Now, you could stitch that down and then try and get your scissors into there, but it's really hard. So I'm going to get Anna to come in really close now and show you exactly what I'm doing. Okay, so here's my indigo square. I'm going to fold this in half, and in order to be able to get your scissors into it later, I'm just going to cut the smallest piece off the side there. I'm not cutting the whole size of the aperture out at the moment, just that, so that later when I've stitched this on, I can get my scissors inside there and cut it round. This will make the stitching on of this a little bit more stable, because if you cut the whole thing out, firstly you wouldn't know what size to cut it, but secondly it would be a little bit hard to stitch onto the opened fabric at the back there. Now, again, I really like seeing visible stitches and visible knots. That's up to you, but I'm going to keep the knot on the outside like that and make that look, add to the homemade look of this. And I'm just going to do quite big stitches all the way around the outside here with the thread you have. You have this thread in your kit here, this lovely variegated thread, which goes with the indigo brilliantly, I think. It's Aurifil 12 weight. And then we're going to go all the way around the outside. So I'll catch up with you when I've done that. So I'm on the last side now. And again, I'm just going to do whatever kind of sew off you like to do. I'm going through to the back there, and I'm just going into the last stitch and then through the loop a couple of times just to make that nice and secure and cut that off. And so you can see then that in sewing it on with just the tiniest hole, it means that the indigo fabric is nice and stable, and this isn't wobbling around too much, because this fabric's very, very lightweight. That's why this works so well for this project. So now that we've got that hole in the back there, I'm going to cut round here now. So with the little hole there, I can easily get my scissors inside. And I'm just going to take the first cut up to the corner. Now this is just decorative, so it's not going to get a lot of wear, so this isn't going to fray into your stitches. So you can afford to cut quite close, because then you get the effect that I'm after here. And then up to the last bit there. And then when you look at this side against the light, you've got that beautiful stained glass effect. So then, when you like how it looks, I mean, if you find that it looks a little bit wrinkly and you don't like that, then press it with a hot iron and that'll get it lovely and flat. That'll work. Now, we need to put them together now. And again, we're going to carry on with that sort of scrappiness. And let's just get 2 here. Yeah, those will do fine. Okay, so how I'm going to encourage you now to sew these together is just put right sides together like that and just do a running stitch along here, all the way along, just like I've done that one before, until you've got something that looks a bit like this. And I've pressed my seams all going in one direction so that it's not an enclosed seam, a French seam or anything like that. It's just a very simple seam. And then on this side, then when you hold this up to the light, I hope you can see you get that lovely stained glass look. So when you've got the layout you like and you've got the next section that you want to put together, I'm just putting these right sides together here, and I'm going to just pin the junctions here all the way along and then sew those together, so that what you then end up with, here's one I made earlier, you end up with something that looks like this. Now on the back I think that looks quite lovely, so if you're putting this on a door that's going to be seen from both sides, then the back of it's going to look rather lovely too. Now, as I said to you a minute ago, you've got enough fabric in your kit to make the one that's on my door here, so I could add 4 more onto here and have it that size. But I'm probably going to find a window or a door somewhere to hang this 5x5 one up. In your kit you'll get 3 of these little brass rings, and there are 3 in case you've got a long thin window. Maybe you've got a long thin window above your kitchen or something like a kitchen window and you want to put it in there. So you would need more than 2 rings, so you've got a central one as well. Use the rings if you want to, they're in your kit, 3 of them. So then sew it all together, give it a really good press, and there it is done. Now I don't think it looks like anything really when it's on the table like that, but as soon as you hold it up to the light and you can see the effect of the stained glass, I'm really pleased with this kit. I'm pleased with the way everything came out, from dyeing the fabric, from then scanning the fabric, having that fabric printed, cutting it all up upstairs in my little shipping room upstairs, and then writing the booklet. All of those things are in the kit for you now. I hope that you enjoy making it as much as I've enjoyed putting it together for you. Please do ask questions in the comments below if you're stuck on anything. But also re-watch bits of this video if you want to know exactly how to do it, because you can do this with your own fabric. If you're going to choose your own fabric rather than the kit fabric, then what I would say is try to make the background fabric, these fabrics, something kind of dark, and try to make the middly fabric something quite lightweight. And this is very see-through, this voile Indian block printed fabric here. And it makes for a good combination. So if you're going to fly solo with this, then choose fabrics that will suit. So I gave one of these kits to Anna to take home.
I've really enjoyed it.
Have you?
Yeah.
How's it been?
Yes, very good. I am not very good at reading instructions, like recipes and instruction booklets and things.
And how? Okay.
So I didn't do your little trick of the cutting the bit out, stitching on and then cutting it after. So that's a bit of a revelation.
And I think you found that yours were a bit wibbly wobbly.
They were, yeah. I was asking you, wasn't I? How do I?
And I think that might be because, I'll just show you what I mean. When Anna was doing this at home, she's cut the whole of the back out of there. And actually you can cut a lot nearer the...
Yeah. So,
okay, this is good.
It's a lot easier.
This is good. So why don't you... and what I like about how Anna's done this is she's cut them all and placed them all, and you've just played around with them until you've got a variation of the indigo and a variation of the block, so that no 2 are next to each other. And now you've numbered them, so you know that's where you want them to be.
Yeah, but I've just spotted a few that are close.
Well, that's okay, because you haven't sewn them together yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right. So are you going to try putting one together then?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to keep going with this one, sewing this together now.
Okay.
so that I can make mine a little bit bigger. And so I'm going to be here if you're stuck.
Thank you.
Okay. So,
it's funny that not seeing two things together, isn't it? You know, when you're doing a thing and then you spot it only.
well,
afterwards.
that's why, I mean, I'm not sure if it would work with this, it might. Taking a photograph of something and putting it into grayscale
Yeah.
it is a good tip for quilting. And it might actually, although I think these are so similar looking,
Yeah.
that you might not get such a variation.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stitch these together then and make mine a little bit bigger. And you're going to, what are you going to do?
I'm
She's
just
just
going
gonna
to endlessly, yeah.
Yeah, this is Anna's style, is that... whereas I think what I did was I just sewed two together that were different.
Yeah.
But I think it's fine. If you want to design your whole thing, how cool is that?
Yes. I tend to overthink these things a little
I
bit.
wasn't going to say that. But it's good because you end up with the result you want then,
Yeah,
don't you?
mostly.
I
Open
think
the
that's
needle,
fine.
please.
Pinch a needle. You certainly can.
I think that's all.
Here's the thread. Thread's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I really like this.
Yeah, me too. Oh look, here's one already threaded up
Oh.
with a knot in the end.
Perfect.
Because that was the one I was going to use. So you can
Oh.
have that one.
Thank you very much.
All right.
When did you first make this?
This
Do you
one that's
remember?
hanging behind us on the door.
Yeah.
Do you know, I can't remember.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Well before I had a channel.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't even know where I saw the first idea because there's nothing new under the sun. I'll have seen it somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't invent this at all. Okay,
Yeah.
so Anna's folding that into quarters now.
Yeah, and then but just a
The
little bit.
minutest bit,
Like
just
that.
even smaller.
Really?
Just enough to get your scissor point through.
Right.
And when you open that up now, you can see that you can get your scissor into that quite easily.
Yeah.
Okay.
Smart.
Not my first rodeo.
How many of these have you made? Because you've got one very faded one on there as well.
Yes,
haven't
I have. That was the one that inspired this really because
Yeah.
that's indigo.
you?
I don't know how many of these things. I think when I like something, I tend to make it over and over again. And I have a memory of making these with Liberty in the centres. And
That would be nice.
yeah, I have a memory of doing that. I don't know what happened to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they might have gone into my shop in the very early days
Oh, really?
when I could make things for the shop because I only had 6 customers.
Well, this has been quite fun, hasn't it? Because we've not been making stuff for the shop, but we
No.
have with this kit.
No, I haven't made something from start to finish for the shop for a while. I mean, I made the what was the last thing that went in the shop? It was the William Morris Cape Facette redesigned cushion,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Was.
I made that. I loved that.
Yeah.
I loved making that.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
lovely.
And this isn't a competitive sport. It's not speed sewing we're doing here.
No, definitely not from me.
Well, it's not though. That's why I said it, because I think you don't have to think, oh, Kate's doing it faster than me or different to me or whatever, you know.
Yeah, I'm never going to try and race you at sewing.
No, but what I'd like to encourage people to do though is to put their own individual stamp on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the thing that I'd find most distressing is to see this all done by machine and all the edges hemmed and it all looking very perfect looking.
Yeah.
I think we need a bit more funky in our lives, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We were talking about this yesterday, weren't we, in terms of renovating?
Yeah?
Because we've both been doing bits of
my
renovating.
kitchen's ongoing at the moment.
Yeah, and so is ours, and well, our whole house. And we were talking about how we don't want things to be perfect.
No, I don't want it to look like it's come out of the pages of the Ideal Homes magazine.
No.
I mean, is there a magazine that would represent my house?
I don't know, maybe like a cool, funky
Funky magazine. I don't know.
magazine.
Anyway.
Oh, that's better. That's way less crinkly. Look at that. Not crinkly at all.
So now that Anna knows not to cut the whole of the back of her piece out,
Yeah.
and now that when you cut it out, you'll actually be able to go nearer to the stitches. So that I think that's the takeaway from this. The top tip is just cut the only the amount you need to be able to get your scissor inside.
Yes. And read instructions.
Well, there's that, isn't there? So I'm getting everything ready now to put into the shop, and the shop's now live, and we leave a link to the shop in the description below, but I want to show you some of the things that are going into the shop as well as your kit. So I'll show you all the bits of that in a moment. But the other things, I've made a thread box. Now I've made some of these thread boxes before with Aurifil, and this time, because June is all about blue, and so this time all the threads in there are blue. So we've got some 12 weight threads and 2 lovely variegated threads in stranded cotton, which are on these lovely wooden bobbins. So these kits are in the shop now, and it's called Stitching the Blues, this one. So they're available. We also made some cards, Anna and I. The whole time we were making this kit, we were photographing each of the different stages of it. So what you've got here is all these cards that are representative of the Indigo experiments we were doing, and then these lovely cards that we made. So I've been collecting together all the scraps, all the little offcuts of the Indian block printed fabric, and I'm wrapping them up. I'll show you what I'm doing. I've got my scale here. I'll just tear that. There we go. And I'm weighing out just a nice amount, which is 50 grams is a nice amount. All these little bits. Now I'm not sure what you'll do with them. I gave Anna one of these, and she's got some plans about what she might do with her little scraps. There's some decent sizes in there and some little bits as well. So I'll just keep going till I get to 50. I'll show you how much that is. And there aren't many of these, hardly any in fact. There we go, 51, 55, there we go. There aren't many of these at all. So the shop's live now, and it might be that they're all gone. But I really just wanted to pass these scraps on to people who might enjoy using them. I'm just wrapping them up like this. And then that'll do. Just wrap that round there and tie that off. So these are in the shop as well. How many? Maybe there'll be, I don't know, maybe 10 or something like that in there. And then let me show you then the kit, because here's the kit with all the little bits and pieces that are inside your kit. I really love the instruction booklet. Martha and Adam designed this. I wrote all the instructions, and Martha and Adam laid it out, and she does these beautiful drawings. I love that picture. And inside here then, all in blue again, because we're all about the blue this month, is all the bits that you will need to make this window hanging. And then here's the Indian block printed fabric inside the indigo here, the thread here, which is some lovely Aurifil variegated in 12 weight, and your little hanging rings, all of those there. Now I just want to say one more thing about the kit. I'm going to show you the one that I've made that's hanging on the door now, and I love it. But you can make yours any shape or size you want. You've got enough fabric in here to make this one 3-inch squares, 5 by 9. It's quite a large thing. But if you wanted to make it 3 inches by 5 or 5 inches square, or if you wanted to make the squares a little bit bigger or smaller, it's up to you now how you customize this. And yes, of course, make that, but make your own as well. So that, I want to show you the one that's hanging in the window now. Thank you very much for watching this video. It's been such a lot of fun putting it all together. It's taken years, literally, to have the original idea and then get all the different elements of it produced together. And I couldn't be more pleased to have this finished now. So it's in the shop. Pop along and have a look. Description below. It's thelasthomelyhouse.co.uk, and there you will find the thread boxes, the cards, the bundles of scraps, and the little kits that are in the shop for you now. Thanks so much for watching. Over on Patreon on Friday, Anna and I filmed a lot more for this video, and there's a lot of behind the scenes footage that's coming out on Friday for you if you wanted to see more of us putting this together up in the shipping room. So take care everybody, and happy stitching. If you make this, tag me on Instagram, Kate at The Last Homely House. I would love to see it. Thank you everyone.